Welcome, Scorpio, to your month ahead Tarotscope for the month of December 2015. This reading is for you if your sun, moon, or rising signs are in the sign of Scorpio. I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling here. Of course, I have extensively shuffled to mix up all the cards and shake off any old energy from prior readings. So the purpose of my shuffle now is to let the appropriate cards for you, Scorpio, come up to the top of my deck. So I'm continuing to focus on your energy, the energy of the sign of Scorpio. And as I do so, also focusing on my intention to look into the month of December 2015. And I'm kind of just waiting for some sort of intuitive guidance. Sometimes I just know when to stop shuffling. Sometimes I see or hear something. It really varies. All right. So the first card in this spread is going to talk about how you're feeling heading into this month. So how you're feeling already at the end of November, looking forth into the month of December. And we have the Three of Wands. I think you're feeling pretty good about yourself, Scorpio, at this current moment. You're looking into the horizon and you're looking into your future. I think you really have started yourself on a path that's going to lead you to something that you really want to accomplish. You're cultivating a clearer view of yourself and who you really are when you stand in your power. You're really getting a sense of your genuine truth. And as you explore this, you're starting to understand where it's all going to lead you. So you're much like this figure, standing on a mountaintop. He has a staff in his hand. He's standing erect and strong and confidently. He knows himself. And he knows where he wants to go. So he's standing on this mountain and he's looking into the valley and he's looking into his future. He's looking into the things that he's planned for himself. So I think you're much like this figure at this moment, Scorpio. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling confident, and you're feeling confident in where you're going. Not only just in yourself, but in your plans that you have for yourself as well. So card number 2 is your general forecast for the month ahead. So your general forecast, Scorpio, for the month of December. And we have the King of Cups. I think this is going to be a pretty emotional month for you, but not in a way that's overwhelming. I think you're going to have a very good handle on your emotions. You're going to step into more the role of the witness and less the role of someone who is overwhelmed and confused, and you're really going to step out of your ego this month when it comes to your emotions. So instead of being this storm, you can see behind the king there's a rocky storm, the waves are huge, there's a little sea monster, a boat in the background. It's quite chaotic back there. Yet I see you as the king, so you're sitting on your throne and you're confident. Again, you're confident. You're sitting, and this figure too, he's sitting up straight. He's sitting up confidently. That word just keeps coming to me. And you're looking around your emotional landscape and you're like, okay, I see what I can learn from this. I see what messages my emotions are sending me. And I think you're really going to have a deeper level of understanding of your emotions this month. You really are going to recognize those messages that your emotions are sending you. Because our emotions really are indicators of the thoughts that we are thinking. And if those thoughts are in line with our higher self. So if we're thinking terrible things about ourselves, negative self-talk, and if we believe those things, we're going to feel negative. So we can use that emotional message, that negativity that we're feeling, as an indicator to the thoughts that we're thinking. Oh, I'm not feeling kind of sad. Well, I guess I'm not thinking positively. I guess I'm not thinking thoughts that are creating the reality that I really want to see. And then on the other hand, if I'm feeling overjoyed, if I'm feeling positive, if I'm feeling exalted, then I know that these thoughts that I'm having right now, that they are in line with my higher self, that they are exactly what I need to be thinking right now, that I am creating the reality that I want to create, because of course our thoughts do create our reality. So you're really going to have this heightened sense of awareness this month of your emotions. Card number 3 is your upcoming challenges. And we have the Queen of Cups. So I think this is kind of cool because we have the King and the Queen of Cups right next to each other. So like I said, yes, an emotional month. However, here, this Queen, she's calm. She's really quite enchanted by this object that she's holding. Her eyes are directly gazing at it. So I think for you, this is more introspection. This is what we were just talking about, this awareness of our emotions. And I think you're going to see your emotions for what they are this month. You're really going to look at them and see the deeper layers to them. This card is coming up in the upcoming challenges position though, so I do think that there is a little danger of you being sucked in to those emotions, of forgetting about all those plans that you have for yourself, all those things that you want to accomplish, because you're so entranced by the emotional realm inside of you. So I think the challenge here is pulling yourself out of that. Remembering that you are a physical being, that you do have physical needs, that there are other aspects of your life that need your attention. And you will find it a little bit challenging because I think your emotions are going to be so loud this month. They are going to demand so much of your energy and so much of your attention. So the challenge here is balance. Your challenge is knowing when you need to disengage from your emotions and finding the tools to do that disengagement. I'm a real big fan of affirmations. They've helped me so much personally, and maybe they're a tool that you too could use this month. Finding your own affirmation or mantra to use when you find yourself overwhelmed by these emotions, when you find yourself so sucked in. I think it'll be just the smallest things like, oh, I haven't eaten all day because I've been spending so much time in my emotional realm. So remembering to do things like eating. And it sounds silly, but I think that those emotions are going to be so all-encompassing this month. And that really is the challenge, is to pull yourself out of them and be that witness. And knowing when it's time to even stop being the witness, when it's time to put your attention somewhere else. So card number 4 is your good fortune, blessings, and abundance. So this is all the beautiful, wonderful things that are coming your way for the month of December. And we have justice. I think for this card, it's really speaking of being fair and gentle to yourself. I think as you explore these emotions that are whirling around inside of you, there will be the tendency there can be the tendency to be critical of ourselves. Oh, why do I think that? Why do I feel that? But I think this justice card is saying that the blessing this month is that you will naturally be kind to yourself. You will naturally be gentle to yourself. You will naturally be compassionate to yourself. And this will really help you. This self-love will really help you as you sort through these emotions, sort through these messages. Because if we were critical to ourselves and if we berated ourselves for feeling these things, we would only create more stuckness. We wouldn't really get through anything. We'd be caught in a whirlpool. We'd just be stuck. And we wouldn't really feel too good because we would be thinking those negative thoughts that we were talking about before that create those negative feelings. So for you, this isn't something that you're going to need to worry about because your good fortune this month is that you will naturally be kind to yourself, kind and compassionate. I think this is something you have been practicing for a while, this idea of self-love, this idea that you matter, this idea that you are a beautiful, wonderful person. And I feel like this month you really are going to be grateful that you have worked on these skills so that you can use them this month, so that you can go out there and explore your emotions and go out there and do so in a compassionate way. Card number 5 is this month's lessons. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I am quite big on lessons. I believe that everything we experience, every situation we find ourselves in, there's something we can learn from it. I really believe that we come into this physical lifetime to learn and to grow and to evolve. So Scorpio, what are your lessons this month? And we have the 7 of Wands. I feel like this is about your expectations for yourself. Because as you're heading into this month, here you are standing with these wands, and they're standing with you. You feel quite sure of yourself. You feel quite sure of where you're going. After this emotional exploration that you're doing this month, I'm not sure that you're going to still feel this way by the end of the month. I think you're going to feel a little bit confused. And I feel like this is your ego or your fear, these wands here that are attacking you. I feel that that is your fear, your ego, your pain body. That part of your ego that's saying, oh, you're not good enough. Like, why did you go and screw it all up? Why did you have all these thoughts? Why did you have all these feelings? And even though you were kind to yourself in the process, I think you will still struggle a little bit with that voice, that nagging voice that says, well, you're not good enough. So your lesson here is to overcome that voice, to accept it and acknowledge it and let it go. And to use that self-love that you have inside of you, that you've been already working on, using that in the face of this hostility from your ego, from your lower self. So your lesson there is also, I think these expectations are expectations from the outside world. So maybe your parents, your friends, your family, your teachers, just other people in your life that you feel like you need to do something to prove it to them, or you need to do it because that's what everybody does. So not only those expectations from the inside, but expectations from the outside, and learning how to work with those and having the discernment to understand that their path might not be for you. And just because they have one way of doing things doesn't mean it's your way of doing things. So this concludes your reading for the month of December 2015. If you're interested in a personalized reading, please check out my Etsy. You'll find the link in the description below.